All right. I know y'all are at school, and more than likely, I'm stuck at home because I'm awaiting a COVID test right now. Um, but I do want y'all to know that we will be returning to your stuffed animal portraits when we can. But I'm hoping you remember that one term that I said. And please write this down. Please open your sketchbook to a new page and write this down. I'll zoom in while y'all do that. Line weight. All right, line weight. So line weight is either the thickness or thinness of a line depending on circumstance. All right, so line weight, thickness or thinness of a line depending on circumstance. So we said that Keith Haring's art has a very uniform, bold line weight. It's quite thick. It's uniform. It doesn't change from thick to thin anywhere on his art. And that's just part of his style. So with our drawing lesson today, we are going to be focusing on line weight and a bunch of other different kinds of lines. So getting into it, I got a wonderful book here. It's called Drawing Life in Motion. I'll zoom out for you. Absolutely love this book. And yeah, you can probably tell that it's a little dated, but that's fine. And there's always this one page that talks about line weight and gives all the good examples of how to use it. And it's this page with this sheet. So the examples of using a heavier line weight, the underside of the actual object itself, because gravity is pulling down on that side, where things press up against each other, so where there's pressure. Okay, so there's pressure for the object being pushed down, and for these sheep, especially this guy who has an itch, it's the pressure of the sheep actually pushing up against the pole. And in here, the line weight of the rams butting each other. A thinner line weight, though, the top of the head where it's just very light wool, the tops of the backs, the top side of the object would have a thinner line weight to it. And objects that are very light have extremely light lines to them. Again, you can see that the darker line on the seed is at the bottom side of the actual object, where it is very light at the other side. Again, for the mayflies, have a darker line weight on the underside of the object and lighter line weight on the top. For the feather, the shaft is definitely the thickest and heaviest part of the feather, so the shaft is the heaviest line in these feathers. And lucky for y'all, since I am redoing my studio here at my house, I actually found all my old sketchbooks, including this number from my drawing class. So I drew this. Not gonna brag, but I got an A+ for it. Oh yeah. But these are items we had to collect. So I had a hydrangea flower, a acorn, a bunch of moss, 3 feathers that I found, and also this ring of berries that was on a vine. I twisted them around to make this, but you can see how I used line weight in it. The feathers, though it's a little hard to do with charcoal, have a lighter touch to them. The moss definitely has a lighter texture where it's just a little heavier at the bottom. The acorn has a darker line weight, heavier line weight at the bottom. For the texture at the top, the lighter one, so it even works with texture, as you can see with the moss and the acorn. And then, of course, the heaviest items on here were these nice ripe berries full of water that I gave a heavier thing. Also notice that the things that come forward, okay, the moss is behind the berries. The berries had the thicker line weight to bring them forward